Kathy Hochul will be deploying National Guard members, up to 750, as well as several state law enforcement into New York City subways. And they say it's due to crime sprees. It's kind of crazy. National Guard being deployed into the subways. What's interesting is that we've learned a couple things in the past few days. Elon Musk says that the groundwork is being laid for something worse than 9/11. And it's because of the open border. We now have from Steven Crowder, there is information coming out that there is a far leftist on the run who is wanted by the FBI for threatening to commit a terror attack against Trump supporters. I think something dangerous may be coming. I mean, we keep hearing about these major outages. It was AT&T, it was Facebook, and they say it was a technical glitch. Perhaps. But I have to wonder. I wonder if the real reason they're deploying National Guard into the subways is not because of crime. They don't care about crime. You know, Elon Musk makes a good point about how they don't deport these criminal aliens after they commit crimes when they could. It's an opportune moment. And it's because they want them there. They're likely going to become Democrat voters in the event of amnesty. But more importantly, they add to the numbers of the state, which allows them to get more congressional seats and effectively steal votes in Congress. I don't want to mince any words with this. The American people elect representatives. But if there are reps in Congress who are representing people who are not citizens, that's stealing votes. That's cheating. And our system is fundamentally broken. But when I saw this story about Kathy Hochul with all the news that's coming out, I thought to myself, there's no way they're deploying National Guard over crime. No way. They like illegal immigration. They've defended it. They hate their voters don't like it. Look, all of these Democrat districts voted overwhelmingly in support of this. It's not an exaggeration. In 2019, during the Democrat primaries, all of the candidates said they were in favor of making border crossings civil violations and not criminal actions. They were in favor of giving illegal immigrants free health care. So I don't believe for a second their concern is crime. I'm not saying it's illegal immigrants committing other crime. They've not cared about crime at all this whole time. Why change now? No, I don't think so. I think they're recognizing that there is a major terror threat, and that is a bit more of a concern. Sure, they may want to inflate the numbers of their districts to get more congressional representation. Maybe they're hoping to pass some amnesty. They've already tried to give non-citizens the right to vote, but perhaps they don't want a bomb to go off or for someone to kill people. NBC News reports Kathy Hochul sending National Guard members to New York City subways to combat crime spree. I don't buy it. You don't need National Guard for this. They say a series of high-profile crimes in the New York City subway system prompted Governor Kathy Hochul on Wednesday to send National Guard members into the sprawling underground network. Hochul is ordering a force of nearly 1,000 people, comprised of the National Guard, state police, and MTA officers, to conduct bag checks at some of the busiest stations. The effort, Hochul said, is aimed to rid our subways of people who commit crimes and to protect all New Yorkers, whether you're a commuter or transit worker. No one heading to their job or to visit their family or go to a doctor appointment should worry that the person sitting next to them possesses a deadly weapon. Several recent well-publicized attacks have led to increasing anxiety on New York City subways. It's fair to say it's true, and this may be over crime, but I don't see why you need National Guard to do bag checks for this. This past Sunday, a 64-year-old man was checking his phone when he was kicked into the tracks at Penn Station before Good Samaritans helped him get out of harm's way. A 27-year-old man on Friday was slashed aboard a northbound train in Manhattan after the perpetrator allegedly made homophobic comments at him. And on Thursday, a subway conductor was slashed in the neck in Brooklyn when he stuck his head out of a southbound C train at Rockaway Avenue station in Brooklyn. This is nuts. It's what you get when you vote for these Democrats. It's fascinating. You know what? I'm sorry. This pisses me off. Donald Trump didn't even deploy the National Guard or call for the National Guard. I know National Guard could be state, but he could call for Insurrection Act or whatever during the Summer of Love riots. He wouldn't do it. They have no problem letting crime run rampant and then just pulling something like this. So the reporting I'm seeing is 750 National Guardsmen to be deployed, 250 state law enforcement. I wonder. From louderwithcrowder.com. Tennessee Office of Homeland Security issues officer safety bulletin to multiple state law enforcement agencies in response to bomb threat targeting Trump supporters. Now, of course, this is not New York, but seeing something like this, we can see that tensions are certainly escalating. I believe I have the tweet from Steven Crowder himself, and they state that this individual told his mother that he was planning to attack Trump supporters. He's in a van and may be intending to commit some very serious act of terror. This is in Tennessee. I'm not saying it's related to New York. I'm just saying the pot's boiling, my friends, and things are getting pretty dang serious. But the big question outside of domestic issues with far left lunatics like this is whether or not the southern border has created a real opportunity for extremists and terrorists to attack us. A point that needs to be stressed. You know, I was talking with Dave Smith before the show last night. And, you know, an anti-war guy. But he made this point. We have been embroiled in this Middle Eastern conflict, causing lots of problems for lots of people. The Houthi rebels are very mad at the United States. And our southern border is completely open. Yeah. It is very likely that there will be extremist forces. We've already caught several suspected terrorists at the southern border. It's been reported. And it's possible that there are many who are already in this country, based on what the U.S. is doing overseas, starting wars, inflaming conflicts, and then opening our border. It seems like the stupidest possible move a country could make. So maybe. Now, this is an interesting story in reference to the escalation of political tensions in the West in general. Human Event says far left extremists claim responsibility for alleged arson attack targeting Tesla's Berlin car factory. It's in Europe. But I think you can see something interesting here. Before we get into Elon and the things he's posted about what may be going on at the border, why would far leftists attack an electric car facility? Because they're communists. It's ideological. It has nothing to do with climate change. They don't actually believe in any of that stuff. Otherwise, they would certainly not attack electric vehicle factories. No, it's because Elon Musk opposes communism. This is where we are. From MSNBC, Elon Musk can't stop fear-mongering on immigration. Oh, wow. That's how they want to put it? Marseille, illegal immigration terrorism, right-wing boogeyman or credible threat, reports Daily Caller. They go to mention, when examining available data and information, it's clear that the security risk posed by illegal immigration is more than just a political tactic or a social construct. Terrorist groups are exploiting the movement of people into the U.S. and Europe to infiltrate these societies and carry out very real terror attacks. This remains a concern, even though the vast majority of these immigrants have no ties to extremist organizations. Underestimating the security challenges posed by illegal mass immigration is just as damaging as overstating the issue. I think I have, I want to pull up this tweet here from Elon Musk. The Vigilant Fox, quoting Elon Musk, saying Elon Musk exposes the Democrats' secret game plan to win every election. Quote, no grand conspiracy is needed to explain this, just simple incentives. It is obvious to anyone who is not a fool that this administration is deliberately importing vast numbers of illegals. No grand conspiracy theory is needed to explain this, just simple incentives. They are far more likely to vote Democrat than Republican. This is why Dems are constantly pushing to legalize illegals and won't deport them even when they are arrested for crime, which otherwise seems, like an opportune time. If illegals can beat up American police on camera in Times Square, be released without bail, and get rewarded with free tickets to California, what more do you need to know? He goes on to say, this is obvious. Incentives drive behavior. Until the loss of votes from ushering in vast numbers of illegal immigrants exceeds the likely gain of votes over time as they are gradually legalized, the Democratic Party has a strong incentive to maximize illegal immigration. Which brings us then to the claims he's fear-mongering. But the reality. Yeah, the reality is Democrats are importing illegal immigrants for demographic reasons, electoral reasons. Of course, many people on the right will say that they want these people to vote. And that's what Elon is saying. But I think it's important to clarify these people cannot vote, and they likely will not vote. In the event of amnesty, yes, they will be voting, and then you will have some serious issues. But the reality is, as I mentioned earlier, These people count towards electoral votes for the presidential election and for congressional districts apportionment. It is estimated that California has or had between 1 and 7 extra congressional seats based on how many illegal immigrants they have in their jurisdictions. And this answers a lot of questions. Why was the Biden administration shuttling and trafficking these people? Why are CBP facilitating the trafficking from cartel members? When they send people all around this country, what they're doing is they're padding the lost numbers from the exodus. During COVID, many people fled New York and other cities and states. So they send illegal immigrants in, and they keep their census numbers high. And that means their congressional seats stay the same. It is an absurdity. And you'd think it would not function this way, but this is how they're doing it. With that comes a very real risk of criminal activity and terrorism. There's a video of a guy in the subway, and he gets thrown onto the tracks and dies. I hate to say it, but there's more than one video of that. I'm not even describing anything specific. There's a bunch of these videos. As they already reported in NBC News, a man was pushed onto the tracks. And here we are. As Democrats desperately try to pad and inflate their numbers, we're 6 years away. Look, it's every 10 years you get this census. They're preparing for 2030. Every time they bring someone in, they run the risk of a terror attack. So when I see Kathy Hochul say we're deploying National Guard, they're going to be doing bag checks. They're going to be stopping, of course, any law-abiding citizen who wants to defend themselves from the escalation in crime. And they're doing it to steal power. MSNBC writes, so this one's going to be fun. Tech billionaire Elon Musk continues to push a right-wing conspiracy theory about the Biden administration importing voters by transporting undocumented immigrants into the country. And in a recent post, goes so far to suggest that immigrants may be orchestrating a terror attack against the U.S. So we've already been warned by law enforcement that there's a threat of a terror attack. That's not a conspiracy theory. And we know for a fact that the Biden administration is letting in hundreds of thousands to millions of illegal immigrants, and that illegal immigrants count towards the census. None of these are conspiracy theories. They're facts. And when you take these facts and line them up logically, you can see what's going on. Of course, MSNBC is, man, NBC News and MSNBC are the worst actors when it comes to lying and tricking people. And they think it's Fox News, and that's laughable. This administration is both importing voters and creating a national security threat from unvetted illegal immigrants, he wrote. It's highly probable that the groundwork is being laid for something far worse than 9/11, just a matter of time. And so, shortly after he says this, Kathy Hochul deploys National Guard. Why? Crime? It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense. Musk included a screenshot of a Daily Mail story sent out on a report issued Monday from the Center for Immigration Studies, an organization that has pushed for strict limits on immigration, about CBP declining to disclose the airports where undocumented immigrants are arriving via its CBP One app due to operational vulnerabilities. The federal government has been guarded with the information. And now, hold on there a minute. That's not the story that he shared. The story that he shared is that the Biden administration admitted to flying 320,000 migrants secretly into the U.S. to reduce the number of crossings at the border. I don't understand this language. Biden administration admits flying 320,000 migrants secretly into the U.S. to reduce the number of crossings at the border has national security vulnerabilities. I see. They need a comma there. Or I guess not. Biden admits that flying these migrants for these reasons will have national security vulnerabilities. So they did it. They flew these people in. That's the story. Weird how MSNBC framed it in a different way, right? The conspiracy theory by the administration covertly flying undocumented immigrants to the U.S. is part of a vast ploy to increase voter turnout for Democrats has swirled among the right-wing media and Republicans since 2021. Some of the flights operated by the Office of Refugee Resettlement are part of long-standing practice to relocate minors and unite them with caretakers. Here's the lie. Many of these quote-unquote minors are actually not. They're 20 and 30 years old, claiming they're 17. And so they try to make it seem like you've got a 10-year-old child going, oh, I'm just trying to come to your country. And in reality, that's not what it is. It's a 30-year-old guy, but yeah, I'm 17. And they're like, right this way, sir, onto your private flight to New York. It's funny they keep calling it a conspiracy theory, but it's not a conspiracy theory. Isn't that wild? The CBP One app allows migrants to apply for an appointment to be vetted and processed by U.S. immigration authorities. CBS News reported that between January 2023 and February this year, almost 450,000 people have been processed by the U.S. Okay, I'm going to put it this way. No more refugees. I don't care. This is such a ridiculous game. I'm going to give a inverse shout out to Nuance Bro, because there was this video of this woman screaming about Palestine. And I'm like, I'm so grateful that someone cares about the Yemen humanitarian crisis that's been going on for a long time. And, you know, Burma and the Uyghur Muslims. I was like, I get that you care about Palestine, fine, but like hyperfixation on this one place is weird. You can be rationally critical of Israel and supportive of Palestine, but the obsession, the screaming. So Nuance Bro said, more children have been killed there than all conflicts on the earth combined in the past several years. Okay. I think he might have said massacred or something. I don't know. But my point with this is, it is an insane hyperfixation on this one issue. I forgot where I was going with the story related to the U.S. border and immigration stuff. But my point here with bringing this up was, you know, refugees, no more refugees. Right. That's where we're going. I'll tell you why. He says more children have been killed there. I don't care. I don't care about if it's dead children or dead women or dead people. It's dead people. And certainly it's worse to kill children. I totally get that. But it seems like this psychological manipulation. More children have been killed there. I don't care. I'll say it again. I hope everybody hears it. I don't care about what's going on in foreign countries. I care about America. I care about America spending money on America. I don't care that I don't care that all of these countries have problems, because they all do. Yeah, but more children have died. I don't care. In Yemen, over 100,000 children have been killed in the crisis there, either through violence or starvation. There are hundreds of thousands of people who are dying of starvation right now in Yemen, and nobody cares about it. Here's my point. I don't care to argue Israel-Palestine. My point is this. They say the refugees, they're people who want to come here. I don't care why. Bye-bye. I don't care. This country is being invaded. And who was it? Al Sharpton who said that? It is not a conspiracy theory. We are breaking. We cannot do this. We need mass deportation. The idea that you can just bring these people in, no. So they say, but they're refugee relocation. Don't care. I don't care if they're literally running from a bear and the bear's right behind them. Certainly, we can all agree, okay, fine. We'll protect them from the bear for that moment. And then once the bear leaves, you can go home now. What is this idea that like a bear is chasing a person and we're like, quick, come and live in the United States forever for the rest of your life and bring your family? Oh no, children are crying. Quick, burn the Constitution. What? It's nonsense. You come to me, and this is what Nuance Bro did. He's like, but children are dying in Gaza. So what? I defy you to make me care that you would use this emotional tech, but it's children who need help. It's minors who are being brought into this country. I don't care. Yemen, it's bad. Gaza, it's bad. October 7th, attack on Israel, very bad. It's all bad. Uyghur Muslims, bad. Sudan, bad. Somalia, bad. Boko Haram is bad. There's so many bad things. Now, if someone came to me and said, Tim, we need to fund this conflict in Africa to stop Boko Haram. Do you have any idea how many children are being killed? And I'm just like, is it America? Well, no. Then why do I care? Do you know how many kids were killed in Ukraine? It's ridiculous. This is what I can't stand. These are minors who are refugees fleeing violence. I'm like, wow, that sucks for them. What are they going to do? We're America, okay? We have borders. We have responsibilities. We pay taxes. I'm not about this world police stuff. They want to come to the border from halfway around the world and then say I'm a refugee. I'm like, no, you're not. Get out. And this is the point. They come to you and say, like AOC goes, legal asylees are not criminals. And then you got to think how many it was, the CBP guy being like, they violated U.S. code, blah, blah, blah. They're criminals. They committed a criminal act. And I'm like, yes, they committed crimes. You come to me with your whining, crying face, but the children, the children. You know what? You do that, I'm on the other side now. Go Israel. I can't take it. The manipulation. I know about the crisis that people are facing when they're fleeing their countries and looking for economic opportunity. But when you try to manipulate me emotionally, man, I just want to go the other way. That being said, I won't. Why? Because then what happens is you get team A, team B. And when team A is annoying, you go, fine, then I'm for team B. It was actually team B pretending to be team A. It was a false flag the whole time. So my just thing is simply this. You come to me and scream and whinge, but the children, and I'll say, I don't care. You will not convince me of your position because the plight of the human beings is a kid or something. I don't like it that kids get killed. It's worse. It is. I don't like they're facing violence, but that's not the reality. They're not really refugees. And so when they come to me and say, but they're refugees, Tim, I say, first of all, no, they're not. And second of all, how about this? I don't care if they are. I don't care if they are refugees. If they're literally fleeing the cartel, don't care. None. We can't handle this. The risk to a terror attack in this country, threats of violence, and the economic crisis we're facing right now, not interested. So spare your emotional manipulations. The reality is we are facing a very serious threat. And you know what? Something I feel like will happen this year, and I'm really scared. I'm really worried, but I hope not. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 4 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.